What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today I'm going to showcase some Politoed in the Open Great League. I feel like Politoed always kind of gets forgotten here in the meta because there's other Pokemon that have Stab, Mudshot that people use instead, like Shadow Quagsire, but Politoed is actually pretty good against Quagsire, and also with coverage of Ice Beam, it's actually able to put in quite a bit of work here in the current meta. It's a lot of fun to use, it's very spammy, and honestly, it's a pretty bulky Pokemon as well, so I'm surprised I'm not seeing it more. Real quick though, before we get to the battles, I do want to ask if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get to the battles and see what Politoed can do. Alright, first opponent of the day. Let's see what they're gonna run. Tinkaton up against a Shadow Sealeo. Pretty good lead matchup here. Best thing about this is I resist the Powder Snows, but if I don't land a Gigaton Hammer, we don't end up doing a lot of damage to them. So we'll see what they want to do. I'm gonna stay in here for a second, because honestly, Sealeo does have quite a bit of neutral play against us. It's kind of odd to say, but like, Sealeo is a very strong Pokemon, just neutrally, even into some Steel types, because Powder Snow is such a good fast attack. We're going to go for a Surf here, almost certainly. I do survive that, though, so I'm going to let this go. I can go for a Gigaton Hammer, guarantee a shield, or if they let this go, it might not knock out, but man, it will hurt them quite a bit. So we'll see what they do. Big Gigaton Hammer. Okay, we actually land the attack. That's crazy they let us do that. We'll catch the Surf on Politoed, save the energy on Tinkaton. And, like, there is a team I've seen recently, it could be, like, Charjabug plus Quagsire in the backline. If that's the case, it could be a little bit scary. But if it's anything else, maybe we have more play. Like, what if it's Shadow Drapion and they bring that in here, which I was not expecting by any means. I'm going to Weather Ball first. I could go for an Earthquake bait, but honestly, I'd prefer just to land this damage here, guaranteed. Weather Ball going to come through. It does two-shot the Drapion, so that's really nice to see. And I think I am outside of range where I get knocked out by a Crunch. So I will let this go for the Weather Ball. And if they shield this up, I can switch out myself. They should be at 3 right now after this Crunch. Politoed's pretty bulky, so yeah, we do end up surviving. Weather Ball coming off against them. Do we end up getting the shield, or at this point, will they just let this go? Let's find out. Alright, big Weather Ball. No shield by the opponent. Alright. What the heck, dude? How weak are they to Tinkaton? This is crazy. I'm not even going to throw a Gigaton Hammer. I'm just going to go straight Bulldoze here. They're like triple weak to us. That's fine. That's fine by me. I mean, I know they have Meteor Mash on this Pokemon, so it's like, they have some neutral play into us, but it's still not great. Oh no, they catch. That is devastating. Honestly, I think this is much worse for them that they decided to catch that, because now, if I end up getting debuffs with my Bulldoze against that Clefable, now they're going to be permanent. So, I think I'm fine shielding this. I'm going to double shield even, because if I just land even more attacks into them, they're going to get so low on HP. And my Fairy Winds here are doing some fast move pressure at least. Not a lot, but some. Alright. Big Meteor Mash once again. They could be on Swift here, so I'm not going to overfarm as much as I could, but I will go here for the Bulldoze, and just guarantee at this point, well, it's not a guaranteed chance, it's a 50-50 chance at a debuff, but we'll see what they do. They do shield that, that's amazing to see, and now they should be in Body Slam range. Oh my goodness, what the heck, dude, why did they overfarm? Oh, they forgot what my energy was at, that's why. Anyway, we Bulldoze now, and, like, we should be fine here. I don't know why they're playing it out this way. This is such a strange game. Alright, get another shield with that move. Doesn't even matter if we debuff at this point. We force energy out of them no matter what here, and Licky Licky is going to be outside of a range where a Moonblast plus a Meteor Mash knockout. They probably need 2 Moonblasts to KO us, and our Fairy Winds have done so much damage at this point that they are just in Body Slam range, especially after the fact with that debuff. Alright, they miscounted a little bit this game, which almost made it bad for us, but luckily they miscounted twice, so that works. Big Moonblast, it'll hurt a little bit, but yeah, Meteor Mash doesn't knock us out from here, and they might not even reach it. So we get the Body Slam, and we get the win here. Interesting team. You gotta respect Tinkaton still, honestly. I think Tinkaton's a pretty strong Pokemon, so I was a bit surprised to see that team right now. Alright, got our next battle here. We'll see Tinkaton up against Galarian Corsola. Alright. Pretty neutral lead here. My Licky Licky loves seeing this Pokemon. My Politoed's probably, like, neutrally kind of bad into it, though, so it's not a bad lead matchup. And Gigaton Hammer does hurt quite a bit. Let's make sure no catch happens, so yeah, we go for the Gigaton, and this should be able to put them down pretty low. The big question is, when are they going to go for the move? Oh, they actually shield that? Okay. I'm fine with that. Because at this point here, I get another Gigaton Hammer, man. If I don't end up going for the move, like if they don't go for the move, that is. If they don't Night Shade us, I get the move off. Oh, okay, they just overfarm because they're insane at this game. But are they giving me this much energy for a reason? I guess kind of. They come in Umbreon. That's fine. We'll see how this goes. I'm not scared of Corsola necessarily, but I'd love to save my Licky Licky here. I feel like that wouldn't be a bad play. And foul plays do so little damage that, like, I can just stay in this matchup for a while, stall it out, save a ton of energy here, and I should still be in a good spot. Corsola Umbreon is such a weird core because a single Wigglytuff is really bad into them. So it could be a Steel type in the backline, which would be, like, it would make sense, I guess, but it could also be almost anything else. Because they might not be, like, thinking about team building today. Okay, we'll go for the Gigaton Hammer here. Looks like that might have been a CMP even, which is a lot of wasted energy on their part if they ended up going for that. If they let this go, that's huge for us. Nice, that is a lot of damage to land into this. And now, because they have stalled the switch clock so much, they can't really bring in their Corsola here, because they're going to be switch locked in if they do. Foul play does very little damage. In the backline is an Empoleon, but they do switch in here. So now I can just switch lock in my Politoed here, and I get my Licky Licky into that Corsola probably in the backline. Alright, we no-shield this first one. We know for a fact we don't get one shot by a Drill Peck. In fact, like a two-shot is pretty unlikely here too, so I should be able to just no-shield everything and invest in my Licky Licky. Because these Weather Balls aren't going to do that much damage, unfortunately. We'll let this go once again, because Metal Sounds are doing almost no damage, although at some point they might be able to switch out and try to catch on Umbreon or maybe Corsola. We'll go for the instant Weather Ball here. Our opponent likely will end up... I don't know, actually. What are they going to do? They do let it go. So now I just go for another one. That's fine by me. I can put them into Body Slam range here, or even Mud Shot down range if they let this go. Alright. That is definitely fine by me. I'm going to bank some energy here on Politoed, and then I can bring in my Licky Licky. Alright. Power Gem will hurt, but at this point, I'm not at risk of getting farmed down by anything in this game. Snarls do nothing. The Metal Sounds do a little bit more, but at this point, not enough. Okay. Shadow Ball might not be enough to knock out the Corsola from this range, which is a little bit sad, but even still, it's going to put him so low on HP. Alright, Body Slam here. When I'm at back-to-back, if they shield this up, I have the next one, and if they no-shield, then I would imagine, even though it's resisted, this should still knock out. We'll see, though. Yeah, it does KO, that's big. Empoleon comes in, but I have the Body Slam ready, and I can go for the combo play with the Weather Ball. If they go for the shield on that, then... well, if they shield this, I knock them out with the next move, and if they no-shield, I probably just win this game. Oh. Weather Ball's on the other side, by the way. I probably just farm down the Empoleon, though. Bad play by me, though. I for some reason, thought Weather Ball was on the other side. We should still be good, though. We're so close to another Weather Ball, as Politoed always is, that we just get it off. Or we'd farm down. Either way. We still win the game, although I gotta remember what side my moves are on, I guess, as well. Big Weather Ball. Down goes the Empoleon, and we will take the win. That is an odd team. Alright, next battle. We'll see Tinkaton up against a Shadow Mightyena. Beautiful lead. I would love a Wigglytuff on the backline. Please tell me they're just disrespecting Tinkaton right now. Okay, Thunderfang Steelix. Actually a little bit scary to see, but, like, not terrible. Because unless they're on Earthquake, my Tinkaton actually just hard walls them, so that's not bad. And if I get a debuff here, then they're going to be in Weather Ball range. I do debuff, nice. And I catch a Psychic Fangs, which, if that's... I don't know, is that good? I don't know. I don't know why they'd throw Psychic Fangs into my Tinkaton. I should have just taken that on my Tink, but I think we're still in a good spot, despite that, because we have the ability to get shields down, and once shields are down, they're going to have so much less play with their Mightyena. That is kind of a crazy Psychic Fangs that they went for. They didn't even bait. They just, like, let's full send, you know, which is, I guess that's a play you can go for. Do I survive a Psychic Fangs plus 2 Thunder Fangs here? I'm going to try to. It's a little risky. It is very risky. But I do. Nice! Wait, Politoed, you're insane. Politoed might just be the best Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Now, if they shield this, my Licky Licky is so fine into Mightyena. And if they... Yeah, I mean, either way. Like, now we can just bring back in our Tinkaton here. Their defense has still been dropped. Okay, so we just win. It's gotta be Wiggly in the back. It's just gotta be Wiggly, right? Let's go. Alright, we got our next opponent here. We'll see Tink into Galarian Corsola. A lot of these running around today. Luckily, this is pretty neutral for us, especially if I land a Gigaton Hammer. It does so much damage that it's not going to be anywhere near as tricky to deal with later on in the game. But they can shield if they want, and they will get a second Nightshade off before I get my next move. So, we'll see what they do. Big Gigaton, what does the Corsola do? I think oftentimes they let this go, but if they do shield it up, I guess we'll understand and see what we can do against them. We never get the catch, because why would I? Although this isn't terrible to see. Normally, I don't like seeing Carbink here when I say swap my Licky Licky, because I don't have a great way to tank the energy, but I do have my Tinkaton, which honestly is not in that bad of a spot. And Shadow Balls will add up quite a bit over time. It's basically a 4-shot. And this could be a Moonblast. I'm going to shield this up. I think keeping my Licky Licky around is going to be a decent play here. They should be at 13 or... well, they're going to be at 4. They're at 13. So it's going to say 1 or 4, but... they're at 6 right now. I want to bank a Shadow Ball here and then switch back out. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, they switch instantly into Corsola. They go for a Nightshade before I get my Gigaton Hammer off, but I know I survive this. And I know at this point, too, that I am only 5 away, I believe, from my next Gigaton. No, 4 away. Okay, so they have to throw an alignment. Which, honestly, I don't know if Nightshade knocks us out here. I'm going to risk that it doesn't, but it might. Ah, it does. That's a bad play. Because now I need to go for 2 attacks to knock this out still. And that Carbink has so much energy. I should have probably shielded that Nightshade, but like if I shield Nightshade, then I'm still not in a great position. Just because, like, it's not like I end up doing too much with my Tinkaton into this Corsola. Oh, they shield that? Alright. Well, I guess that's a little bit better than it was a second ago. Kind of surprised we'd get a shield there because I had so much energy against them, but I survive a Power Gem. I can let this go. Save my Licky Licky as either a catch or a way to clear debuffs if I have to later on. And Politoed's not bad at all into Carbink, so we'll just switch out here and see what they do. Shadow Bug Bite Fortress. Okay. I think we lose, but maybe we have a chance if we get enough energy. Alright, Weather Ball is gonna do something here, probably. I don't know what. But it's gonna do something. Not quite a 2-shot. A Shadow Politoed would 2-shot. I mean, I have to shield, and I don't like that, but I do have to shield or else I just get farmed down. They do Sand Tomb. Alright. I'm so low on HP. That Carbink has a move ready to go as well, so I have to go for a catch to win this one. And I don't know when that's going to happen. Alright, at least we get this move off. That's nice. Do they come in and instantly Rock Slide with Carbink, or do they overfarm? That's always the 50-50 I have to call here, and I don't love it. Ah, they go for 2 and throw. They go for the smart play. Although, looking at the HP, I don't even know if a Weather Ball would have knocked out this Carbink. Unironically, I think they might just survive. Ah. Yikes, dude. Alright, next battle. We'll see Tinkaton up against a Tinkaton. Pretty neutral lead matchup here. Worst thing about this is my Politoed is kind of sad that it's not against it, but as long as I land a Gigaton Hammer, they're going to be in a pretty bad spot here where I can just switch out into my my Politoed and potentially go for a single Weather Ball to knock them out. They don't even throw their Gigaton Hammer first. Or don't go for a CMP, so we don't learn who is higher attack weighted. I'll try to catch here. Doesn't quite work, but they're like going over 100 energy by doing this. And they bring in an Altaria. Oh no! Not an Altaria. Not an Altaria at all. That's so bad. That's so bad to see. They got me good. They got me. The Altaria. Luckily, Politoed here. Very good matchup in this situation. Oh, they shield? Whatever. That's honestly fine. A shield there is a little bit inefficient by them because I don't get knocked out by 1 Sky Attack. They need 2 moves to knock me out, and I almost have another Ice Beam ready to go here in just a second. So, like, this Altaria is going to be in such a bad spot. I'm going to shield this up, because at this point, I do want to overfarm a little bit, if possible. I know I don't necessarily one-shot with an Ice Beam, so I will need a Weather Ball plus the Ice Beam to knock out, but forcing the Tinkaton to throw energy against us is also not going to be bad for our odds of winning this game. And if they shield this one up, I think I do get my next Ice Beam off before they get their next move too, so it's kind of a wasted shield if they do. I say let that go, love to see that. Weather Ball now before they get their next attack off, just to get a little bit of extra energy. We can force a Bulldoze out of the Tinkaton here. And then we should be in a pretty good spot with Licky Licky later on. Hopefully, at least. Oh, Shadow Grumpig. That's a cool pick. That's going to be a lot of damage that they can land against us, but if If I get shields down, my Licky Licky should close it out. Okay. I have my next move here. I do survive an attack pretty easily from them. And we'll see if they win CMP or not with that Tinkaton. If they do, that's the most awkward thing that could happen right now, but they don't. All right, Gigaton Hammer coming through. At this point, they could let this go, which wouldn't be a terrible play if they think I'm going to Bulldoze bait. But I full send the Gigaton because I know Bulldoze wouldn't be enough. And at this point, my Fairy Winds and my Bulldozes will knock him out, so they kind of have to go for his shield here. And if they don't, then I farm him down. If they do, then all I need is a Body Slam from my Licky Licky, and I don't get one-shot by a Dynamic Punch from a Shadow Grumpig. Yeah, I mean, they have to let it go, but it's not going to be enough. We get the win. GG's. All right, next opponent. We'll see Tinkaton into Corviknight. All right, I mean, it's playable later on, but I'd rather not stay in here if I can help it. I'll bring in my Politoed and hope for the best. My Weather Balls do quite a bit of damage. Looks like their Sand Attacks are doing a lot to us as well here, which is a little bit sad. But I can go for the Weather Ball to chip them down a little bit. If I get 2 Weather Balls off, I put them in close to like Shadow Ball or Gigaton range. But since I am a non-Shadow, I probably still need 4 Weather Balls to KO completely. Alright. They should be at 18 right now. We'll see if they're going to throw Air Cutter or Payback. The Air Cutter, so 9. They get a boost, so that's not great. But we'll go for another shield here. I feel like a Payback is possible, but they might just go straight Air Cutter against us. Yeah, that is what they do. Not a bad play, especially if they boost again. That's a really heads-up play to boost twice. I would recommend boosting if you're a Corviknight user. Anyway, we do have the Weather Ball, and honestly, I can bring back in my Tinkaton to make their life a little bit more uncomfortable. We're like, do you really want to throw energy into Tink? Or did they just CMP? They might have CMP'd us, which is also not terrible for them to do. Because that guarantees the Air Cutter lands into us. Oh, they don't. Okay, I guess that's fine. I mean, I survive on move here, right? So I can make their life a little bit tricky. I'm going to go for a bit of a bait here. At this point, they've lost most of their Corviknight, right? And if they no-shield this Gigaton Hammer, I can just go for a Fairy Wind down. So we do get the shield, and I think now my my Tinkaton can put in a lot of work here. I got a debuff, that's nice. If I can ever switch out again, too, I can save a little bit of my Tinkaton for the backline, which is also potentially a good thing. They do have their next move ready to go. I could bait here, but I already got a little bit lucky with one bait. I'm not going to go for another risky one. All right, in comes the Gigaton. Do we get the shield, or do they let this go? They do shield. We try to catch, and we don't get it because they're a little bit patient, but, you know, that's maybe still fine. We'll see. Shadow Quagsire in the backline is not bad necessarily, but not exactly the Pokemon I would have loved to see here. That Gourgeist has a lot of energy on it, which does scare me a bit. But I do 2-shot here with Shadow Ball. 6. Okay, well, that's only going to be an Aqua Tail or a Mud Bomb. At the very least, not a Stone Edge. So I'm going to let this go. I don't have much of a choice, but if they do Aqua Tail, then I'll have to instantly throw here. Just to guarantee that we land this move before they're able to get the next Aqua Tail off. I don't want to take that chip damage if I can help it. Keep myself outside of Seed Bomb range, right? They could bring in Corviknight, though, which wouldn't be bad for them either to do. Because Corviknight at this point would be able to go for an Air Cutter to chip us down a little bit more. Oh, they overfarm here. That's a bit of a misplay once again by them, which could be an opening for us. Seed Bomb's not going to knock us out, and I have my Shadow Ball, but they transfer the rollout into the Gourgeist, or from the Gourgeist into the Corviknight, which means now we just have the Shadow Ball ready to go. All right, you know, I think Politoed actually put in a lot of work this game. Although the Tinkaton and Licky Licky backline also kind of came in clutch. Gourgeist was kind of scary, but we danced around, and we got the win. All right, next battle. We'll see Tink up against a Shadow Galarian Weezing. If they have Shadow Overheat, that would hurt. They must not, though, because they switch out instantly. As long as they're not running Mud Bomb here, this is a pretty good matchup. Although they throw after 5, so I'm going to be honest, that kind of looks like a Mud Bomb to me. I think I don't get quite 2-shot from this range, but it will hurt quite a bit. Alright. What do we want to do here? That is the big question. I don't necessarily need Switch. So I guess I could try to let this go and just win a shield from this Pokemon. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think I survived this. Oh, well, especially if they Aqua Tail, I do. I'm going to go for the Ice Beam here. It does a little bit more raw damage, and maybe it can sneak through the shield and knock him out. We'll see what they do, though. Nice! We end up knocking him out. We keep switch advantage. That Weezing could try to go for a farm down against us. Okay, Dondozo in the back line. Weird. How do I feel about this? A little bit awkward, if I'm being honest. I can't really swap out, so I have to give him a huge farm down. But then having a lot of energy against our Licky is going to be annoying. But I get at least 2 Weather Balls. They get 6 Waterfalls, 7 after the Weather Ball comes through here. So, I don't know. At least we've done like half their HP, actually. Like, I think I'm kind of fine with that trade. They're at 8. We instantly go for the rollout sneak. They go for a move. What are they throwing? I would imagine they just go instantly for a Surf, but at least 2 Surfs don't knock us out from this range. They have another one ready to go. Okay, they are throwing it here. Could be an Outrage, actually, right? Is it? Would it be? Actually, it might not be able to. That's only 10 Waterfalls overall. All right, I'm going to Shadow Ball instantly here. I want to get shields down. If shields go down, this game gets a lot easier, because then I can just go straight Gigaton Hammer, and from this range, a Gigaton would be enough to knock out anyway. Let that go. Interesting. It must be Sludge Brutal Swing on that Weezing, because they are not even playing it out. Nice. All right, next battle. We'll see Tinkaton up against a Shadow Primeape. All right, dude, these things have been on really bizarre movesets recently. I've seen some on Close Combat. I've seen some on Cross Chop. Some still on Ice Punch. So I don't know what to believe anymore. They throw after 5. So that really doesn't help my superstitions here. I'm going to shield this up. I think I kind of have to. Well, I didn't if it was a Rage Fist. They're at 1. Okay, they actually let me farm up a lot of energy here, though, before I can switch out. And I don't necessarily need switch against that Primeape. Honestly, getting them to swap out is not bad for us. Because if I have energy on Tinkaton, I should be in a pretty favorable spot. They have a lot of weakness right now to Talonflame, so the final Pokemon likely has to be good into the Talon. So I don't know what that might be. Could be a lot of different things, honestly. But I'm hoping at this point that it's something that my Tinkaton is not hardwalled by. Alright, Shadow Ball comes through. It's not going to knock him out, but it will put them down to about half HP, into a much more manageable range for my backline. And Licky here is just about at the Shadow Ball, but they do end up, unfortunately, throwing the payback. I think this does knock us out from this range. But I guess Licky at this point did do its job. It sponged the damage, and now this is close to Weather Ball range. I'm just going to build up a lot of energy and try to use Energy Lead as a way to win this match. Primeape at this point is at what? It's at 1 Karate Chop. They threw after 5. So if I have enough energy here to outpace to 2 moves, that's going to be huge. Oh my goodness. They bring in an Azumarill into us. Well, I'm kind of happy to see that, I guess. Likely they're going to try to get this back into Corviknight, but having as much energy as I do, I don't feel like I'm in a terrible spot. Okay. I'm going to go over 100 energy. Bit of a over farm by me there, but honestly, that's, I think, still fine. I have so much energy on my Politoed. They double shield? I guess that makes sense. 8. I'm going to shield this up. I need to shield something in this game, so I guess it might as well be this. They do Hydro Pump, so a good shield by us. And I want to land a Gigaton Hammer no matter what, so I will throw this as well instantly. If I don't land this attack, then this game does get a little bit more awkward than I'd like. So we'll just throw this and land as much damage as we can. And at this point, we're putting them into a range where Politoed hopefully can close out this match. Alright. Corviknight comes back in here. And this game's going to get dicey, but we'll see. We do Mudshot down after 1 more. That's huge. They need a Play Rough us to knock us out with the Azum. So if they do come in with it, I think I'm going to go instantly for a Weather Ball, just to guarantee the damage. And if they come in with a Primeape, honestly, I probably just instantly Weather Ball either way here. I think that's probably the best course of action. Just guarantee the damage. Even though I do give a Bubble Sneak over, we already saw a Hydro Pump, so it's going to come down to what their secondary move's going to be. Okay. Another Weather Ball. I think we're fine now. Landing this attack puts them close to Fairy Wind downrange, and if they don't have Play Rough, then they're not going to be able to knock us out with an Ice Beam, and if they are on Play Rough, they're 2 away from their next move, so my Tinkaton should just be able to farm this down and hopefully knock out the Primeape with a Gigaton Hammer. But we'll see. We will see. What do they throw? They do Hydro Pump, so they have Ice Beam probably as their secondary attack. Oh, they don't let me do it, but yeah, we had the Gigaton ready to go, so we're able to get the win. Let's go. Next battle. We'll see Tinkaton up against a Galarian Corsola. Alright, well, let's see if we can try to play this matchup out better than we have a few times today. We can go for a lot of damage with Gigaton Hammer. I can try to catch moves on my Licky Licky, but at this point, I never know when they're going to throw. They never know when I'm going to throw, so it's weird. But we can land this first, and if they do go for a no-shield, then they're going to be pretty low on HP. But if they shield it up, then that's also fine by me. Alright, this time I guess I should have caught after one. They end up going instantly for the move, but that's still fine. I survive a Nightshade pretty easily here, and because I can bank up more energy and threaten another Gigaton Hammer, this does make it a little bit awkward for them. There we go. We got the Nightshade catch. This is good. Now I save a lot of energy on Tinkaton. I get a little bit of an energy lead here, and this should be range where just a Weather Ball from my Politoed should knock him out. Okay, Shadow Diggersby comes in. Interesting Pokemon to see. I've seen Shadow Diggersby on a few teams in the past here in GBL, but normally it's like with a Florges lead when I see the guy running it, so I honestly have no idea what this team's going to be. And having our Politoed that can neutralize this is going to be nice. They're at 6 right now, so they do have access right now to a Scorching Sands. They'll be thrown instantly, and then if I can go for another rollout into a Body Slam into a Switch, that's going to be really nice for us, because then I can outpace to a Weather Ball. And that should be at least slightly beneficial. Yeah, nice. Politoed comes in. Weather Ball might not knock out, though, is like my one thing that I'm kind of scared of. So honestly, I think I'm going to just shield and overfarm. If Weather Ball doesn't knock out and they get a 1 HP attack off into us, then I'm just better off having more energy here. Oh, they Fire Punch bait. That's crazy. Oh, there's the Florges. I guess they're running it in the back line now. Odd. But that's fine. I have a lot of energy here. I still have my Tinkaton, and Tinkaton can go for Gigaton Hammers against that Diggersby, so that's not bad. Let that go. Makes sense. 7. They're baiting a Moonblast, but even if they have it, I do survive, and I'm not that scared of it. And if they don't, I don't want to shield the first. Oh, they Chilling Water, so they're at 2? 3? I'm kind of surprised by that Chilling Water, but I guess we'll see why they do that later on. Because I can just switch out here. And unless they have a big move against us, I just get a Body Slam off. That's only 5 again. So this is only going to be a Chilling Water, maybe a Trailblaze. They do Chilling Water. But I do set up a little bit of a farm down for Diggersby, so maybe this could be a little bit scary. But if I get a second Body Slam off, I think that's all I really need to threaten this Diggersby a little bit more. I think I'm on my 2 cycle, so I should get it. Yeah, and I have a Gigaton Hammer, plus I have a Weather Ball. So I should be good here. Actually, I'm not at a Gigaton Hammer just yet, am I? Oh, they let that go? I think one Fairy Wind just knocks us out, honestly, so I'm going to come in here and just shield this up. We'll see what they do. They do Scorching Sands. We should get the knockout straight up with that Fairy Wind. Okay, we don't, but it's fine, because we still knock them out later on. We have a lot of Bulldozes. In comes the Florges here, and I have a lot of energy. I still don't know the second move on Florges. It's really crazy to say, but I've never seen it. They haven't thrown it. I guess they're not going to. I just have so much energy on Politoed. That's all we're going to need here. Another Bulldoze is going to come through. If they don't shield this, I farm down. If they do shield this, then I get to 2 Weather Balls, and we should just win this game. All right, nice. They should be another 3 Astonishes from a Nightshade, and I'm only 3 Mudshots away, so even if they were 2 away, I'd win CMP. And since they're, not, we can just guarantee that we get there anyway. Nice. Politoed also probably would have survived a Nightshade from that point, but it doesn't matter. We're just too thankful that we actually caught a Nightshade this game, so we'll take it. GG's to them. Kind of an interesting team. Okay, is he on Volt Switch here? That would be a little bit awkward. He is. Okay. So Volt Switch is worse for us, obviously, but it's not, like, unplayable, despite being a little bit ABA soft here. He's at 4, so... Oh, what is he? Could he be on Earthquake ever? I know Will sometimes run that moveset, but, like, would Lyle run the Will D moveset? That is so much damage. That is so ridiculous. I'll catch a move here. Likely just anything but a Rock Tomb being thrown right now, unless he saw the catch. Yeah, nice. So he's at another Sand Tomb right now. Oh, okay. Sableye comes in. That's fine by me, because, like, what do you want to do with this? Do you actually end up shielding Sableye? Or not? Because I'm still outside of a range where 1 attack knocks us out. And, yeah, okay. That makes sense. No shield against us there. I can survive this. They might go for a Drain Punch, but I don't think that does much for them, really. In fact, I'd prefer a Drain Punch because it does less raw damage to us, so, like, that's fine. I'm going to shield this up. I want to save the energy on my Licky Licky, and I'm going to bring back in my Tinkaton here. They might not be able to get farmed down by Fairy Winds because now their defense has been increased. But I'm getting so much energy out of this. I'm kind of surprised he threw energy here. Maybe he doesn't actually have the switch clock up, though. Like, if he could have swapped, I would have imagined that's be the play we would have seen, but... Alright. We survive an attack here from the Fortress, so I do no-shield this. And we'll see what we should do. Do I go for a Bulldoze bait here? I'm going to, actually, because I get 2 Bulldozes off. It could be a bad play to go for this, but if I get his shield here, then landing that next Bulldoze is pretty nice. Nice, okay. No debuff, though, so maybe it's like, it's still an inefficient play kind of by me, but I don't hate that I did that. But if I got like a double debuff, then honestly a Body Slam could knock him out. Okay, we'll Shadow Ball here, and now he has to go for a Sand Tomb to knock us out. What's his team gonna be? He lets that go, okay. Alright. I'm gonna Body Slam instantly here. If I get a no shield, this is looking really good. If I get a shield, that's slightly less ideal, but still fine. He does shield. But I should survive 2 Body Slams, right? So I should get 3 Weather Balls, and hopefully that's enough to knock out. I'll shield the first, I guess, I don't know. Alright, there's no way 2 Body Slams from Celio knock us out, right? But maybe 3 Weather Balls here don't do it either. Big Body Slam. Yeah, we survived it so easily. But Weather Ball is going to do, like, even less damage than that, right? So it's still going to be kind of scary. We'll see. We have some rollout damage left over. I mean, honestly, 2 Weather Balls basically knock out from here. So it's not bad. Like, it's not completely unplayable. If I can switch right now into Licky Licky, I think that's not a bad idea. Yeah, because just getting that extra rollout is all it's going to take to put him into Weather Ball range. And we have it now. Lose condition here is, like, somehow I lag a turn, and I don't get my move off. But I'd have to, like, lag a turn here and lag a turn again because I win CMP. Nice. Politoed's a little bit too quick here. And luckily, Licky Licky was actually pretty strong into that team. We got that catch in the lead, which was pretty nice for us to see. And Politoed is just too much fun. It's such a spammy Pokemon. I really don't know why people don't use it more. It pairs very well with Tinkaton, and this team was so strong. Use it if you want to try to climb a little bit here in the last couple of days of the season. But yeah, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.